the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it, so you don't have to. Mulan. When it first came out, it was a critical and box office hit, but its following seems to have grown bigger and bigger with every passing year. Though I personally found the film okay, I'd be lying if I said I didn't see what drew so many people to it. Its songs are catchy, its comedy is decent, and its lead, though nothing new by movie standards, was kinda different in terms of animated Disney standards. Say what you will about their heroines, but chances are if you were the animated lead of a Disney movie, you probably weren't going to do much swordplay. One of the few times they did, you had to pretend to be a boy. Think about that. So yeah, while nothing groundbreaking, Mulan still manages to keep folks coming back. Even to the point where people are concerned Disney's gonna ruin their childhood classic with another live-action cash grab. Well, I have good news, my concerned fans. Disney ruined that property long before that version will ever come out. During the age where Disney would slap a popular name on low-quality as long as it made the money. Ah, such different times. Dozens of their animated movies were given the direct-to-DVD sequel treatment, and Mulan was one of those to be dragged in at sword point. Even as a person who had no extreme feelings for the original, I feel just as insulted as no doubt the majority of fans who saw this did. It's easily among the top 5 of the worst Disney DVD sequels. And if you know their lineup, that's no small feat. So, how does this movie punch your childhood so hard it'll make your ancestors bleed? Well, let's make a sap out of you to find out. This is Mulan II. The film opens with George Takei speaking over puffs of smoke. So probably a normal evening at his house.
You have ennobled the House of Fa.
Oh my, I am so baked. It turns out he's praising Mushu, voiced this time by Mark Moseley, as the ancestors hate glorifying him for helping Mulan save China.
Mulan saves China one time, and now he thinks he's the emperor.
It's like working with Shatner all over again. We then cut to the credits because this perfectly follows this.
Woo! Top floor! Let the whirlpool begin.
Tone is more than a shade of color. As we see Mulan, voiced again by Ming-Na Wen, teaching children about the importance of balance in both fighting and nature.
Like a rock, I must be like an oak.
Okay, so far not too bad, but do you notice a strange change in animation? Don't get me wrong, it's still Disney with nice colors and line work, and honestly compared to some of their other DVD sequels, this is a lot better. But everyone for some reason is animated like they're comic relief. In the original, the funny characters move funny, but when the main characters need to move with purpose, strength, or elegance, they seem more solid so you can read the subtlety of their expressions and body language. Here, everybody is bouncy and over the top, like their acting coach was a wavy arm balloon at a car dealership. Just look at how Mulan laughs here. Honey, I don't think she should babysit our kids.
Like an oak, you must stand firm.
Mulan, why does your singing voice sound like Jasmine?
Shut up, it sounds like Chun-Li from Street Fighter. You made me reference that movie. Shang approaches, played again by B.D. Wong. He has a knack for picking sequels, as he proposes to Mulan, who excitedly agrees.
Oh, what a happy day.
Wow, it's like instant annoyance. Just add Mushu and tears of sadness will follow.
I'm just so happy for me.
Are you crying again?
No, I just got some exfoliating cream in my eye. Of course I'm crying, girl. What you think?
You're like a bad Chinese buffet kids menu mascot. Passable on paper, a nightmare in every other realm. Back at the Ancestors Temple, it looks like Mulan and Shang getting married means Mushu will be out of a job, as the husband's ancestors will take over as the Guardians.
I ain't going out like this.
Hear me, you lazy lounge lizard.
Again, something I tell Shatner a lot. A messenger from the Emperor arrives, though, to give Mulan a kind of plot.
Mongol forces are moving closer. Our army is hopelessly outnumbered.
Okay, after all this talk of romance and marriage and such, now we're gonna get to what Mulan fans really want to see. Fighting, swordplay, martial arts, explosions. Let's do this!
Let me lead my forces in a preemptive strike. Each of my warriors will fight like 10 Mongols.
Let's get down to business!
No, General. Instead, we will become united with the kingdom of Qigong through marriage.
Oh, we're doing Brave! Yeah, you remember that movie. You know, where they make it look like the main character is gonna kick ass, but it's actually about diplomacy and she rarely fights anyone. And when she does, she sucks. Congrats, Mulan fans! You got exactly what you were waiting for. And maybe the Disney Channel movies will give us something good.
You will escort 3 princesses to Qigong.
And yes, by the way, this is the plot. No fighting wars, no clever strategy, no everything that people liked Mulan for. They're just chaperoning 3 princesses for a marriage.
My daughters know exactly what they're doing.
It's like a Back to the Future sequel becoming a cooking show. Bizarrely, that's not what we're looking for. But Mulan is totally down for millions of people being slaughtered, as long as it means someone doesn't have to marry if they're not in love.
They consider it an honor to marry in the cause of peace.
I...
Apology accepted.
Wow, the Emperor's a
Apology accepted.
We must become one with the countryside.
How many troops do you estimate you will need?
3.
3 companies.
3 men.
So they decide to trust the fate of the Emperor's daughters with men so they literally sang the exact same song about from the first film.
Wish I had a girl worth fighting for. Something you thought there's a girl worth fighting for.
It sounds like I'm paying you for the exact same song. Oh no, it's sung during a barroom brawl. Well, that makes it completely different. Here's all the monies.
I need you to join Mulan and me on a mission.
To save China?
Naturally.
Who are we fighting? The injustice of the patriarchy. You don't want a Mulan 3, huh? By the way, see if you understand this scene introducing the Emperor's daughters. Were we a 3-headed snake monster for a minute? No, it's Mulan 2. Nothing that cool would be in this. One of the women, though, drops her shoe. Because if this movie's not gonna be Mulan, why not be Cinderella? This moment brought to you by Quentin Tarantino.
Permit me to introduce Fa Mulan.
It is a privilege to meet the hero of China.
You might need these. It's a little chilly.
Mulan, bringer of blankets and savior of China!
The journey begins, and man, even the horses look off to be in this movie.
With this man, I was a cow in the first film.
Let's hear some of that stellar direct-to-DVD writing.
I realize our duty is to the mission,
But
but I have another duty. To my heart.
Ow! That line was so bad it physically assaulted me! But one of the princesses seems to have the hots for chubby Popeye.
Did you see the way he looked at me?
The gorilla with the bad eye?
He's more like a big, cuddly panda bear.
He's such a handsome, ugly guy.
You didn't even talk to him.
A true romantic can tell.
Ting Ting, I think she's in love.
Aw, isn't that nice? Arranged marriages are bad, but confessing your love to a total stranger is fine. You're just 9 years away. 9 years away.
Fa Mulan?
Your Highness, is anything wrong?
Let's change that line. There we go, not a single thing.
I just wanted to compliment you. You were so brave to take your father's place in the army.
You see, we replace all the action in this movie by reminding you there was action in the first one.
How did you decide between duty and heart?
I guess I learned that my duty is to my heart.
My duty is to my heart.
Man, you can tell they thought so highly of that line, they just had to repeat it over and over.
I have another duty. To my heart.
How did you decide between duty and heart?
My duty is to my heart.
My duty is to my heart.
Guys, I got it! Then Mulan says, not bad is good. Meanwhile, Mushu, wanting to keep his job as guardian, tries to sabotage Shang and Mulan's marriage by forcing them to split up.
Just enough time to stop Mulan from making the biggest mistake of her life.
Oh yeah, he's 100% the villain of this picture. Even Scar would be like, what a little psycho.
Watch this.
Up, you tripped. Marriage is off. I forgot they were insane. Yeah, seriously, if my fiance did that, like, hey, we should both be near our horses. That's when I call off the wedding. This dude led an army against the Huns, and he's running away from a squirrel, a skunk, a porcupine, and a mouse? Even the cowardly lion would be like, dude, seriously, grow up. All future snide comments will be lion-related. One of Mushu's antics sends the carriage spiraling out of control. Again, he adds so much to this movie, as everyone tries to save the princesses inside.
Mulan! The rope!
to know the first major near-death action sequence of this movie comes from the friggin' comic relief. I think this red dragon would be less dangerous. Thank God they let us know the fruit was okay first. But just because he failed at killing our main leads doesn't mean he has to fail at killing their relationship.
I bet he and Mulan are 2 nasty words away from an all-out feud.
I have 2 nasty words for you. So in the original, by this point, our leads were challenging society's gender roles and fighting cultural stereotypes. Here they bicker over directions. Yeah, that dumb.
What is it with men and asking directions?
What is it with women and maps?
Oh, you're saying women can't read maps?
I'm saying that women will ask directions.
Oh, men are from Beijing, women are from Shanghai. And this movie is from the of hell.
Mulan, arguer of directions and savior of China.
Yeah, I never got that dumb stereotype of men not wanting to ask for directions, and though I guess I kind of get it. I guess the idea is that men are supposed to be like more independent and like focused on doing stuff themselves, and whereas women are more, I guess, communal and social and wanting to rely on others for support. I guess that's where it came from, but it's just a dumb stereotype. It really just depends on the person. Like, I was more than happy to ask for direction. Like, admittedly, the joke is a bit dated in this day and age because of things like Google Maps. You can just enter the place where you want to go to. But like, I was more than happy to ask for directions when I got lost trying to get to the festival center, and I mistakenly got lost in like a parking garage. They're like the U-Parks, we call them here. Like, come on. At the very least, this movie should have played around with it by having, say, the woman be the one refusing to ask for directions and the man being the one wanting to ask. Because, like, even the freaking Wild Thornberrys was smart enough to do that. But then again, this is also the movie that had Shang proposing when they... God, they totally missed that opportunity to have Mulan propose because, you know, girl power and all that stuff. Yeah, it's just a dumb movie. They just wanted to get it out real quick, let's be real. Like a lot of the direct-to-video sequels at the time, so let's just move on.
Oh. I better go. I've got the first watch.
Don't worry, they've all been kidnapped. The Emperor is paying their ransom as we speak. The princesses, of course, find they have an attraction for each guard. In fact, one of them was even writing a runaway letter saying she had to follow her heart.
I have come to realize that my duty is to my heart.
Cute. Let me tell you about the hearts that'll be ripped out of people's chests if you don't continue this mission. Okay, so personally, I'm not down for arranged marriages. I know, that's not a big surprise. But in movies like Aladdin, Pocahontas, and so forth, that alone is the only stakes involved. This is literally the deaths of millions of people if they don't go through with it. I'm sorry, that's more important. If you had some sort of clever workaround, I would understand, but the movie's not presenting anything like that. Speaking of which, how long have you known this guy you're willing to let millions die for?
If this wedding does not take place in 3 days...
3 days? You're gonna let tons of families get slaughtered for a guy you know for 3 days?
He's not even that great a guy. Remember this from the original?
How about a girl who's got a brain, who always speaks her mind?
Nah. That could be you! You could be the silent mute slave who can't thoughts! It looks like all of them feel the same way now as they sing about how great it would be if they didn't have the responsibilities of being a princess. You know, for one of Disney's most marketable titles, there sure are a lot of songs about how it sucks to be one. Hey, where's that lizard demon we're supposed to find charming? Oh look, he's making it look like Mulan's calling Shang an idiot and, gasp, even mocking his bad breath.
Except for that garlic breath.
Wait, that boy can peel paint.
Was Mushu hired by the Mongols? He's doing more damage right now than they are. I'll just let this scene speak for itself.
Don't play coy. I saw you outside my tent.
I haven't left my post.
And I suppose you weren't gossiping about me with the princesses.
This is the stupidest thing we've ever stupid.
Why are you talking with your hand over your mouth?
I wouldn't want to peel your paint.
What is that, Chinese slur for something? I'm discovering so much. Saying peel your paint, calling someone Fredo, all sorts of stuff I didn't know were offensive. And in the great tradition of awkwardly paused Disney frames, here's another one to add to your collection.
And next time, don't leave your post.
Next time, don't leave your post.
It's like what Damien saw in the dream sequence from Exorcist, except somehow this feels more evil. The guards invite the princesses to the nearby village without telling Mulan, so Mulan goes to find them without telling Shang. China is so dead. As you'd expect, they start to fall in love as Mulan finds them and they confess their feelings.
Found Mulan, it's love.
Mulan, totally a squeer when she's gonna let China die, and savior of China!
Just to be sure, Doug, you are criticizing this movie for having Mulan shirk her responsibilities and go against the Emperor's orders, right? And not for displaying typical feminine behavior? Because if it's the latter, then... yeah, that sort of criticism is exactly why a lot of female protagonists nowadays are just... not all, but a lot of them nowadays are just men with lady bits. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say them by name on this channel. But yes, I totally agree that the princesses getting with these guys is not something that should be celebrated when the whole of freaking China is under attack from the Mongols. Yeah, it's a stupid movie, but I kind of wish Doug was more clear in his criticism thereof so that it didn't sound like he was saying girls shouldn't be girls. But, whatever. Let's just move on. Again.
But Shang finds them and says, hey, remember people dying in
I'm so sorry to break up your little party.
Ooh, this is gonna be good.
You wore this guy on shirts, kids. What an emotional powerhouse of animation. Squash a bug on your neck with your chin and then seesaw away like a toy bird that drinks water. You brought us Snow White. Shang and Mulan also decide to break up, and after hearing them talk this way, maybe they should.
The problem, Mulan, is you.
Don't trust your heart. Sometimes I wonder if you even have one.
You two are so wrong for each other. Dr. Phil says you make a great couple. He was in Scary Movie 4. They continue the mission as unfunny Trogdor looks over his smashing success.
I see Pretty Boy isn't talking to you, and you're not talking to Pretty Boy. Well, you know you can always talk to me.
I'd rather talk to Gurgi. Yeah, I said it! Mushu admits, though, that he sabotaged the whole thing, which suddenly makes Mulan think there's still hope for them. You should not.
I was gonna lose you, and my pedestal.
You mean you got between Shang and me so you could keep your job?
Well, when you put it like that, and... anyway, I sound like a terrible person.
All those problems, they weren't us, they were you. I've got to talk to Shang, tell him I love him.
Yeah, but think about it. If an Eddie Murphy dragon can split you up, something that's obviously a work of fiction, what are you gonna do when real problems arise? What is that? Real action in a Mulan movie? Quick, children, hide your heads, you're not ready! Thank God they traveled with as few soldiers as possible. How'd the conversation go again?
3 companies.
3 men.
These are my children.
We must become one with the countryside.
That includes being beaten like salmon fighting off a bear. Why won't you brutes see I'm one with the countryside? They come across a bridge as they prepare to meet Kali and whatever hell Mushu is going to.
I'm sorry.
Shang lets go so she can climb up as they go to the bottom and only find his sword. I'm Shang, what a twist! Oh, I'm just sad. Mulan's crying stops the rain as she decides to still continue the mission. Meanwhile, Aragorn's Uber driver finds Shang without a friggin' scratch on him. Yeah, I actually feel better after that fall, go me. As Mulan reaches Qigong and tells them everyone was killed.
A marriage was promised. I will sanction no alliance.
So, what's the plan again?
I would be honored to wed a prince of Qigong.
You?
Ah, and the amount of land you don't own is? You don't own. What would this marriage do? His assistants tell the Emperor, though, that she's a war hero, so this might be a good move.
Far more dear than 3 mere princesses.
How? It still won't unite anything. If General Patton married Queen Elizabeth, America doesn't suddenly have an alliance with England. Though I'd love to know what that alternate reality is like.
Prince Jiki.
The Emperor agrees to allow her to marry his son, and the other two sons disappear before they're even seen, as Mulan gets ready for her wedding. This is the climax, everybody. Yeah, remember the sword fight and fireworks and evil bad guy trying to slice people to pieces? The brave Mulan battling her armed adversaries is now a bride who doesn't want to marry someone she doesn't love. Yeah, we're an Owen Wilson comedy at this point.
Wow. I would give up 1,000 pedestals if I could stop this.
I doubt even the golden dragon of unity could stop this now.
Not even the bloody dragon of messy divorces can come to my aid. Yeah, remember all that I said about following your heart and refusing to marry someone you don't know? Moonwalk that back to Hypocritville because I have a permanent residency there. But Shang stops the wedding just in time. Thank God the dude saved the day in this girl power flick. But the Emperor isn't taking no for an answer. However, Mushu pretends to be the golden dragon of unity and tells the Emperor to marry Shang and Mulan. If Mushu can make that much fire, he could have Game of Thrones the enemy in one single night. And both of these would somehow still have endings.
Now I command you to proceed at once! Yes, your greatness. I hereby pronounce you husband and wife.
What about China?
So this is the famous Mushu.
Say what?
I have no secrets from my husband.
What about the Alliance? You never said anything about the Alliance. Literally the whole reason all of this is happening.
Great golden dragon of unity.
So nothing's changed? You're still not united and you're gonna be invaded any second?
Aren't there rules?
Of course. Right next to the rules about dressing up like a man and joining the army.
By the way, you're still slated for execution, but aren't we all if the armies aren't joined?
What about my pedicure? Let's get jamming on the toe jam, people.
And I'm not even kidding. That's where it ends. The whole trip to save China talks of duty and honor and obligation, and from what they showed us, they completely doomed everybody. Well, remember how big they were making that threat?
Our army is hopelessly outnumbered. If this wedding does not take place, the alliance will crumble and the Mongols will destroy us.
We just have to assume they're still outnumbered and everyone got slaughtered. In fact, the irony is, in some countries, this movie is called Mulan II, The Final War. Where's the Final War? Oh, I get it. It was after the movie ended, and it was so devastating they just showed 1 second of China burning and quickly cut to the end credits. But at least Mulan and the princesses followed their hearts. I wouldn't follow this if it was serving fresh Mushu, which is very tempting at this point. Talk about finding new respect for the original. If I knew this is what we could have gotten in its place, I would have immediately called the first one a masterpiece. The characters in this range from dumb to horrid, the plot is insultingly nonsensical, the animation half the time is awkward, and it doesn't give Mulan fans anything they would be searching for. They don't even make her a princess. You always see her in the lineups and people love her there, but they always bring up that's not her title. Here, you could have done it! Have Shang figure out he's a prince or something and they get married. I don't know, it's less convoluted than what they gave us. And at least it would have served some purpose. As is, this is a horrible movie to show your kids, especially ones that watch the original. It's stupid, it's degrading, it's not fun to watch, it doesn't teach you creative thinking or how to get out of bad situations. It takes a million steps backwards. Come what may with the live action remake, I'm just gonna call it, there is no way it can possibly be worse than this. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on your whole family! Dishonor!
But I have another duty, to my heart.
Hey, Doug Walker here. So doing something a little different. Usually whenever I do a convention, we charge for prints and we charge for taking pictures, but the money from taking pictures goes to charity, whatever the charity of the week is. And I realized we have this show called What You Can Do, where we go to charities in the area and we show how you can volunteer if you can't donate. And I realized I should have been, anytime I do a convention, I should be giving the money to these people because they're so kind to open up their doors and let us shoot the place and show the wonderful things that they do, and it's just they gotta rework their schedules to do it and everything. So if you see a charity being repeated on here, that's why. So what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna show you once again a charity we've done recently called the Center for Enriched Living from the What You Can Do video. It's a really fantastic place. I mean, the video will show you everything. And yeah, we've done it before, but it really deserves as much attention as possible. So I'm sort of going to be working backwards here. Whenever I do a con, I'm going to do a shout out to a charity that we've already done a video on. But like I say, it kind of deserves even more attention. So with that said, here's the video from that. Check it out. I can talk. If you can, because it's a wonderful place, and definitely donate. Or if you can volunteer, it's a fantastic place. Take a look.
My name is Harriet Levy, and I'm the CEO of the Center for Enriched Living. We're located in Riverwoods. We provide social enrichment programs to people all ages with developmental disabilities.
As you can see, all the artwork on our walls is done by our members. We're really proud of it. It's showcased throughout our entire building.
Man, the colors on here are so nice. Like, look at that. Look at the color on that.
We were established in 1968 when things weren't that great for people any age with developmental disabilities. Oftentimes they were in institutions. There wasn't a lot of promise and hope for our families. In fact, we hear over and over again how families would hear upon the birth of their child, well, they'll never learn anything, they'll never grow, they'll never be able to do anything. You would be better off putting them in an institution. Well, we found that to be not true. From children, it grew to teens, to young adults, to adults, and now we serve all ages from youth, pretty much 12 years up to, if someone's 100, they could come to the center. We asked our families and our members, what is it that you want? What are you looking for? And one mother said, nobody's ever asked me that before. My child has always gotten the hand-me-down classroom with no windows, in the back of the school, in the basement of the school, with torn carpeting, and for you to ask, and she was in tears when she responded to our survey. People need to be valued, not undervalued. When you raise the bar on those expectations, people achieve to that level. Whether or not you have a disability, that's how it works.
Chairs, or table heights, you'll see the cutouts underneath the counters. You'll see everything's kind of lowered as well, so there's access to the microwave, access to the oven, the indirect lighting, and the soft floor, so you'll walk through, you won't hear your footsteps, things like that. So it's kind of accessible.
Oh, you're right. I didn't notice that.
It's accessible for a lot of different people.
We're here to serve the community, so we appreciate whatever you could do for us.
Click on that link. It's right there. Click on it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you so much.